Hello, everyone. I'd forgotten to put the mic on. Hello, Wookie Wookie. And Wookie Wookie says, "Did you get my email?" Yes, thank you very much. I got it. I appreciate it. I saw my name in there. Very kind of you. All the best and congratulations. I did. I did actually respond with an email. Did you get my response? Just a short thank you sentence. And mhm. Dudley says, "Hi, Mehran. I'm 22 from Alabama." Hello, Dudley. Says, "I've been here before, but just to remind you of who I am, it has been almost 6 months since my dad passed." Mm-hmm. I remember Dudley. "I'm still struggling with his passing." Yes, I understand that. You know, when come to think of it, when I am um, going through some moments of pondering about everything and remember that my father is no longer with me, and it's been already 8 years, I still struggle. I still get emotional. I still miss him. I still have a hard time understanding um, what is this ending to such a wonderful experience that some of us have with our fathers and mothers. Um, so, what you're talking about is not unknown to me, and I want to bring it to your attention that it is not supposed to be unknown to anyone or to you. It is not supposed to be a jubilant event if you think of your dad now that he's not with you. It is always going to be a soft spot, emotional place. But that is where you celebrate the love you have for him. We're always busy with life and things, and we always think there's something important happening. So we often don't have any time or chance to think about our dad or mom. But in this case, we're talking about dad, so let's focus on that. So we hardly spend any time due to other responsibilities and other man-made stuff that we have to go through, government stuff, bills, jobs, money, this and that, and relationships, and whatever it is that can be a whatever it is that we it can be a escape for us from all these other nonsense or the challenges, and we don't have that opportunity to escape through it, whether it's a relationship or pleasure of some kind, money or fun or vacation. So constantly we're bombarded with things that are occupying our mind, and we never have enough time and opportunity to do justice to just think about our dad. Just celebrate what we experienced with him. And when moments like this comes that you're talking about or I'm talking about, it's an opportunity to celebrate through that emotional stage that you get. It's an opportunity to cry, love, smile, remember him. Celebrate the certainty that your dad brought to your life. Celebrate what you learned from him. Celebrate with all your love and emotion for him. And that's a happy moment. So you turn a seemingly sad situation into a celebration of emotions. And it's okay to cry before we are of any particular image. We are all human beings and we have emotions and capable to love and miss our loved ones. So it's okay if you feel you're struggling. That struggle is not meaning that you can't accomplish important tasks. It doesn't mean that you cannot go forward. It doesn't mean that you should remain sad. It just means it's an opportunity to think about where your powers come from, where you can rely and fuel yourself and understand why you actually want to be that person that you want to be. For whom is it? One is for you, one is for your dad. To constantly do your best in life, bring pride in his heart. If he was here, and even if he's not, your energy will communicate with him. We're all part of the Mother Earth's energy, universal energy. So it's not like that we have disappeared 100%. We may have disappeared physically. We cannot be visible anymore physically. But that energy that gave us life when we were in this physical shape and entity, that hasn't gone anywhere. It can't go anywhere. It is just going to revert back to the universal essence where we came from, and we become part of what we used to be. Like the drop of the ocean that finds itself outside of the ocean, but in essence is part of the great ocean's water. And eventually, when it evaporates, it's not physically visible, but it actually has rejoined where the actual ocean came and replenishes itself. The rain, it evaporates up, clouds, and then again comes back as rain. So, in other words, we're just rejoining where we came from. And in that case, your father, my father, none of us will ever be erased, because the essence of what gives us life, the energy, that intelligence, that energy, that what makes us be who we are, the consciousness, that doesn't go away. That's part of the energy. It reverts back to the universe. Physically, yeah, we won't be able to hold that charge, like that the battery in the toy, that we put the battery charged up in the toy, and toy works out and we play with it, and it depletes, and then we take the battery, put it into the wall electrical charge, and fills up, and again we put it in the toy and it works. But at one point that battery can't take the charge, but the charge itself is still on the wall. The electricity doesn't die. The battery can hold the electricity. Same thing. We eventually won't be able to hold this energy to facilitate our livelihood and keep our physical shape and go on. But the actual energy that gave us life, and we used it to learn things and produce things and accomplish things, that whole experiences in the form of energy, that doesn't die. It's always helping the universe to become more wise, more logical, more wise, And it's helping everything to expand and grow through our experiences in this life. So the whole universe and us are one and the same, are connected. Through us, universe learns. Through our experience in life, universe learns more and expands. And when we die physically. We are not visible. But again, what we have accomplished, what we have experienced and learned also is represented and resides and continues helping the universe to expand, and it never disappears. Well, that's what I think, at least, and I hope that would be something that you would also be able to appreciate when you're by yourself with a cup of tea and enjoying remembering your dad. Yeah, I understand. I understand. Yeah, we're all in it together, Dudley. We're all in it together. You sure gave me a wake up call. Well, perhaps that was meant for me also to remember my dad specifically today. Well, I've got his picture on the wall there. So, okay, let me stop and restart that camera, which ends at 30 minutes. Well, I wonder if I had to do it because I don't think I had even turned it on. The good camera, but this one was on. All right, now, what did you put me through today? Dudley, let's see what Chris has to say. See, I never know how this starts, my live talks. Depends what kind of a question you guys come up with, then my whole mood and persona changes according to what the question was. Chris says, hello Mehran, hope all is well. Just a quick one tonight. Okay, I keep having moments of feeling really positive, then slipping back into feeling down about how things turned out with my ex. Of course you will. You know, you're human beings. You know, even a donkey misses his friend, let alone us that we're supposed to be the Lord of creations. So we do have feelings and we do have emotions that could be stimulated or affected through missing the order, the things that would give us certainty, the things that would give us an anchor, the things that would give us escape. And most of us find that escape through pleasure, through activities that has nothing to do with responsibilities often. Although being in a relationship, it is a responsibility of big caliber as well, but it is also a way to forget all other challenges. And many people want that relationship back, not because it was the right relationship, because it was something that would somehow steer them away from what occupies their mind, which are mostly responsibilities and challenges and things that are not going well. So they just want to forget about it. And you know, some of us go to cinema, some of us go play sports, some of us go to the gym, and beside the obvious benefits that these activities would have, it also is an escape. It's a way to be able to focus on something other than what we don't want to focus on. In life, we are constantly focused on the problem. This is the job of the mind. And even if we don't have much problem, the mind finds some transient thoughts and some, conjures up some drastic events or negative imaginations in order to keep itself alert, because the brain wants stimulants to stay sharp, and its job to look for problems. And when you don't have it, it conjures up something. That's why you sometimes think and see images or things and thoughts that you didn't invite them. What are they doing there? It's just the way we are. We focus on the negative in order to be alert and safeguard ourselves, which is the way we should learn and not entertain it in that way. So we'll have a much happier and relaxer and positive time of the day. However, this is part of the characteristics of the mind. And so you will be focusing on things that was helping you to not focus on what you didn't want to focus, and that was your relationship. Now that the relationship is not there, you have no playground, so to speak. You're focused on the things that really needs to be fixed, needs to be attended to, and this is an opportunity for you to actually do just that. So instead of thinking about that you have missed something, think about that you have gained an opportunity to actually fine-tune your life instead of having been always distracted with pleasure and work in the relationship and really mistreated the opportunities you had to advance your life to a higher level. So if you look at it that way, it's a blessing that you're not in a relationship that wasn't working anyhow. And we've talked about it several times before, why it wasn't working, and you need to focus on those stuff, not on the pleasure parts. If you separate the pleasure parts of a relationship from the actual persona who was involved in the relationship, then you will see that that relationship was not a right kind. The pleasure part of the relationship is always a right kind. But if you think about a relationship represented by the pleasure in the relationship, then you'll always think the person involved in that relationship was also the right person. And then when it's not working and you broke up, you'll always miss that person because you always represent or think about that person as the pleasure part of the relationship instead of the persona and the pleasure part of the relationship should be separated. Two different things. When you focus on the persona, you will see why the relationship is not good. When you focus on the pleasure, then you'll see nothing other than, oh, it's a great relationship. Because pleasure always wants to replace the actuality. Pleasure gives you a feeling, that feeling is give you a thought, and that thought wants to replace the actuality and make you not see the things that you don't want to see. So the pleasure covers up the quality of the relationship. Don't allow that happen. Focus on the persona, the consciousness that you're having a relationship with, and separate that from the pleasure, and then you will see if you really want to spend more time with that persona, just because there's pleasure involved. It's no different than seeing an ice cream and say, well, ice cream tastes good, I want to have it. Even though the ice cream maker's hand was in the toilet just before he made the ice cream, you gotta focus on how is the ice cream made, not the fact that it looks like an ice cream and it tastes good. But what about the after eating it? How are you gonna feel? Healthy or you're gonna get sick? These are things you gotta think about before you actually commit to eating the ice cream. Now, having said that, let me move on before I get myself into more trouble and and deal with it, Chris. God damn it. That's normal to have a fallback. That's okay. But I'm always here. You can always chat with me on the live talks or the Skype, as we did many times. And so we have Dawn here, says, hello, my love. Hello, darling. How are you? And she says, how are you? Hope all is well with you and yours. Thank you very much, Dawn, and same for you. You have been absent here for a while. I thought of you the other day. I hope that everything is good. Your work is probably keeping you away. Hope the kids and everybody else at your household and the mansion that hopefully the painting and all the renovation is done. Now you can have the helpers to come and do the landscaping and bring the horses in the stables, and I guess the seasonal jubilee can start, right? All right, we have Aldro says, as an introvert, how do you actively keep the belief that you will one day meet someone new to love again? You won't meet anyone new if you don't bloody take a step, at least one or two, in order to create or put yourself in a position of possibility of socializing and getting to know people. Nobody's gonna knock on your door and say, hey, you're such a wonderful person. I've been watching you from thousands of miles away from the telescopes we have on the other planets, and I have picked the fact that I've understood the fact that you're an amazing person. And we are here, teleported here, knock on your door, and want to ask you to please let me get to know you. That will never happen. So, introvert or not, get your act together, spiffy up, go on attending to your what you love to do, sports, gym, I don't know, chess games, library, theater, whatever it is that you like to do, get involved, do something, make a change in the quality of your own life. Treat yourself to some wonderful restaurant once in a while, alone, by yourself, it's okay. Or find a friend, just a friend. Maybe, first of all, let me see. You didn't give me your credentials, age, gender, and where you're tuning in from. So, but from your picture, I assume you're a lady. So get a girlfriend and, together go for a nice night out, as far as, treating yourself in a nice restaurant, be served, feel good about yourself, create that confidence. So then when you're in social settings, you have that feeling of importance that you have created by loving yourself, taking care of yourself, and allowing yourself to experience some aristocracy once in a while. It's okay. And be served, that's their job. The waiters and waitresses take care of you. You feel good, you go home, and you build this confidence. And this introvert will not be your escape from actually escaping from opportunities to get to know people, because obviously somehow maybe you don't feel that confident, and maybe it's not the confidence, maybe you feel very confident, but you just don't think that they're good enough people to worth your time to socialize with them. Either way, you can't know it all. Among all those things that you walk around, maybe debris and garbage and whatnot, there are sometimes jewels that happen to be there and waiting to be discovered. And so do become a little bit extrovert, not completely maybe, but some degree, and whenever you feel like it, and then see what's out there. Otherwise, how are you going to meet anyone? You got to put yourself, being a wonderful person in your mind is one thing. Being a wonderful person and responsible person and positive person in your life is one thing. But you still need that physical connection with somebody else. And in order to create that, you got to get to know if they qualify or not. Who are they? And if you don't have in the close proximity of theirs and interact with them, how can you tell? So just pack that introvert image that you have created of yourself. And I understand it's very lovely to be introvert, because it's a safe place, it's a respectful place, it's a place where boundaries are clear, and you feel don't have to put up with shit or put up with people of lesser quality or compatibility, and then it's all great. And you spend your time with, I don't know, internet and the things that we do, create things and do your thing. That's wonderful. Many of us who arise to a level of intelligence mostly turn introvert. And that is part of someone who's very intelligent doesn't have time for bullshit. And most people are full of bullshit. So you don't want to put up with it. So you simply tailor your environment towards what is not containing so much bullshit. So that I understand. But still, we are part of our life. It's not all intelligence and energy and all that. Part of it is physical being, and this physical being has needs. Just as you need to eat, but you don't eat all the time, but you do eat at least 2-3 times a day, or maybe 1 or 2 times a day. Same thing. You don't need to be extrovert all the time, but you need to do extrovert sometimes in order to bring that familiarity, friendship, compatibility, and intimacy once in a while when you find the right person. And so for that you need to put yourself out there to some point in environments that you like to be, not push yourself to be. Whether it's sports or whatever it is, just be involved a little bit. It's all right. It's necessity. Brings balance. But there would be no magic. If you don't take this step, you won't travel the distance. So bloody well, suck it up and take this step, as many as needs to be. And you will know how much and how far. So Sidesh Thakur says, my girlfriend, what happened, guys? What happened? Have we lost our ways here? What happened to protocol? Yeah? Age, gender, and where you're tuning in from. 3 things. I don't see that. I move on to the next person. There it is. Picasso, barman, says Picasso, male, M24, India. Perfect. This is what we're looking for, right? 3 little things. M, male, F, female, whatever your gender is represented by, 24, India. That means it's a male, 24 years old from India. Perfect. Now I will answer that question. Sidesh, put that protocol in, I'll get back to you. And he says, I had only 1 relation throughout my life. You're only 24 years old. So 1 is good. From school to university, then she left me. Yeah. Well, what did you expect? How long was that relationship? 1.5 years, you say? After 1.5 years, she wants to come back. What should I do? Well, obviously, you're not a Don Juan having 5 million girls that you mingle with. If you wanted to do something, you would have gone. I guess you're still wondering what happened to the years that I spent with her. Well, you should have known that age 24, I don't know how long, when you guys met, you didn't tell me that, but whenever it was, you're at the age that you hardly know yourself. So the kind of girl that you chose was something that really impressed you. But at that age, what do you think the chances are that girls will impress you? 100%, 100 out of 100, because you know not much about yourself, and all you know about yourself is how you're programmed. You're heterosexual male, in your genes you're programmed to love women. So at that age, any woman shows up, you're happy, and you think that's the right girl. Why? Because I'm turned on. The problem with most of young, not problem, but the fact with most of with all young people, young men, heterosexual male, is that at that age, they think just because they're turned on, then that signifies that it's a right match. They don't understand that they should separate the sexuality of the girl that has nothing to do with who she is. She was born a woman, and therefore that's her sexuality, and you are programmed to be attracted to that. So it's not a credit on her that you're attracted to her. It doesn't tell you anything about her character. So if you separate the sexuality of the woman from who the woman is that is carrying that sexuality, then you will be able to understand if it's a right match or not. But when you think of her as intimacy and only that, then you think, well, there's nothing wrong with it. Everything is perfect because I'm turned on, therefore that is a right match. But you got to go beyond that and find out what is it that you're having a relationship with. The sexuality of this woman or the persona of this woman? And obviously, it's the consciousness of this woman, the persona, who she is, her center. So for that, then you got to get to know that before you call it the right match. Not because you're turned on, then it's the right match. Well, at that age, you're turned on by anything as long as it shows up. So it's not it doesn't take a brain surgeon to figure that out. So, so at that age, the way you guys got together was based on interest and intimacy and your programs, your genes. You just were attracted to each other for one reason or another, but you hardly knew who you are, let alone knowing what kind of girl you really want. So it wasn't really your choice, it was just the desire's choice that it happened that you guys stayed together. And then you grew up and you changed through growing up, you both of you, and then you found separate ways at a certain age. Now you say after a year and a half she wants to come back with you. I guess your question is, what has she been doing all these 1.5 years? And if you had yourself gone out and had another girlfriend or two, you wouldn't have asked that. But because you probably didn't, and were just wondering what happened to this, it was supposed to be a whole lifetime. Why should it be a whole lifetime? You're 18, 19, 20, 21 years old, and you're learning about yourself, and you should have a few experiences of relationship before you actually get to know yourself enough to know what you're looking for. And she will be old enough, whoever your counterpart would be, to know what she's looking for. Otherwise, at age 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, you hardly know yourself, let alone know what you're really looking for. But later on, when you're older, you're ready to know what you're looking for because you know more about yourself. So that's where you are. Now figure it out. If that girl with that mentality and how she was is the kind of girl, knowing yourself at the moment, who you are, how you have turned out, it would be compatible with you, then why not? Go ahead, get back together. What do you think it is? Oh, I'm getting back together and it's what's going to happen. So if it doesn't work, after a while, you guys go your merry ways again, and this time you're sure that, okay, it didn't work. And if it does work, well, you'd see how long it lasts. It's not supposed to mean, oh, she left me, I don't want her, now she's coming back. Would that be the last one? Who knows? You know, just go on with it. If you like her, she wants to commit to you and, you know, make something out of it, go for it. What's a big deal? All right. So we have Tim Schneider. So, hi Mehran, Tim 30 Germany. Guten Tag, Tim. Wie geht's heute? And says kind greetings from Germany. Dankeschön, vielen Dank. And Tim says, it's been a while since I joined here. Always again, really great to listen to you. Well, wunderbar. Thank you. Dankeschön. And hope that you will continue tuning in and sharing the videos, for heaven's sake, guys. We need exposure. Look at it. As wonderful as this channel is, the content being exceptionally good, and I'm saying that, we got 12 people here. So what does that mean? That means really we are not known. We will never be known. We're the best unknown thing on the internet. And the algorithm keeps ignoring us. So bloody well, share the videos in your social media. Talk about it on chat channels and whatnot. Do whatever the hell is supposed to do to get us exposure and reach more people, help more people at the same time. Make the channel viable, because the way it looks like it, this channel is not making any money because there's not much viewers. And therefore, YouTube advertisement is not going to make this channel be able to dedicate more time for what we are here trying to accomplish. But I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that eventually we will pierce through the algorithm, and with the help of you wonderful people, we will get more exposure here and there, one way or another. Uh, Tim says, wish you a good weekend. Thank you, Tim. Appreciate it. Aldro says, I recently picked up dancing as an introvert. Thanks, Mehran. I'm doing my best. Good. Good. Very good. And are you going to... There we go. It says, I'm 26, male from Sweden. Ah, male. Your little thumbnail has got a long hair. So little that I couldn't tell you're a male. I thought it's a woman. I'm glad I didn't say anything weird. Hello, lady. well, thank you for that, Aldro. And from Sweden. And I wonder why in Sweden, with all those beautiful girls, you're sitting and sticking to be an introvert. Go enjoy your life. You're 26-year-old. There will be enough time to be introvert. When you're going to be my age, there would be nothing left but being introvert. So bloody well, get the hell out of home and go be active in sports and go dancing and do things that, we used to do when we were young. So I'm not saying I'm introvert, but, that would be we would have more propensity towards that, because at older age, you kind of have specific way of seeing things, and you maybe have opened up your mind and seen the actual shit that is out there, and you don't want to be mingled too much. When we are young, we just don't know, so we are just swimming with everybody else, and until you find, well, okay, I guess I like that part of the ocean much better, I'm just stick with that area. So having said that, let's move on to Dawn. Dawn says, sorry, I haven't been around when you're live. And the joys of shift work. Feeling a bit delicate today. Had to have a broken tooth out first time. You took the teeth out. All right, it's broken. Well, why did you take it out? They could fix it, couldn't they? They would just build it back up. And it was horrible. Didn't hurt, just unpleasant. Yeah, I know. But a broken tooth, I hope it's molars or something. It's not front ones. Otherwise, you're going to look funny, Don. Get that fixed. If you pull the front one, I don't want to imagine that how you're going to look like now. So get that fixed. If that's it. But if it's a molar, yeah, well, Is it a wisdom teeth by any chance? Now, what did you do to break your teeth? Anyhow, Don says, thankfully, it was my top back. Thank God. Otherwise, okay, so you don't look, you don't look like the witch of the, in the I don't know, Wizard of Oz. You won't look at the, the Witch of the East or something. As long as it's a molar, that's fine, I guess. So it says, not visible. Okay, good. It was cracked completely in half, vertically. No idea how that happened. Well, I think I've got one that is getting there too. There's one here that I'm beginning to see there are little cavities in there, like clean cavities, not a cavity. So I'm thinking it should be attended to, otherwise it will probably crack in half just like yours. So Sidesh Thakur says, Sidesh, male 22 USA. Dankeschön, good. And says, apologies, my first time for the live stream. I'd been hooked to your videos. Okay, thank you. Apology accepted, my friend. You're welcome. And thank you for that, male 22 USA. Sidesh says, my girlfriend had been cheating on me in a long distance, and when I came back, she left me for the other guy. I still wanted her. Yesterday, I stalked her just to see a few glimpses. What do I do? Don't stalk her. Don't stalk her whatsoever. For many reasons. First of all, it's not manly to stalk a woman. It's just not manly. Second, what the hell are you stalking her for? Don't you have respect for yourself? What do you want to see her for? The woman who says she doesn't want to be with you with her actions or with her words is not worthy of your attention. That should be disqualifier on her. Why do you want to be with a woman who doesn't want to be with you? Don't you have respect for yourself? Don't you have any criterias and standards? Number one standard is that the woman wants to be with you. If that doesn't work, the rest of it doesn't matter. How she looks, what she does, how she talks, whatever you have in common with or not. None of that matters. So the number one is she has made her case for whatever reason, good or bad, and you should say, well, that disqualifies her. Not that you're disqualified. She couldn't see the value in you because obviously she's maybe just not wise enough to see the goodness and the qualities in you. But with her action, it is clear and apparent to you, should be apparent to you, that she's disqualified herself. So you disqualify her rather than thinking, oh, she's gone with somebody else, so therefore I'm not good enough. No, it means it's a reflection on her. She's not a faithful girlfriend. She's not a girlfriend that you can count on. She's the girlfriend that you should actually encourage her to go to somebody else. Let her go to someone that, can appreciate that kind of a mentality, that you go on a trip or long distance of some sort and you come back, she's not there. Well, if it's like a few years, well, I can understand that. I guess every human being wants to go on with their lives. But, anyhow, that was perhaps a wrong choice to be in a long distance relationship. And secondly, well, it's to the better, working out perfectly for you now, that you can go on with your life. And don't stalk her at all. Don't even want to remind yourself of what you don't have. You got to be focusing on the fact that you don't want to have what you don't have. That's what you want to focus on. Now, give me one moment. Let me turn this on and off here. All right. So, yeah, first of all, it's not manly to do that, to stalk a woman. Secondly, it's not beneficial to you at all, because why would you stalk someone who doesn't want to be with you and has expressed that? That should mean that you actually don't want her to be your girlfriend because she has chosen not to want to be with you. So she's disqualified. And keep looking at her, then you will be just looking at her physical appearance, which would excite you about her appearance because you're a heterosexual male, you love women, and she looks maybe good or however. You won't be focusing on who she is when you're looking at her pictures on the social media. You will be just focusing on, how turned on you are, or physical attributes that you like about her. And you totally forget and forgo the idea of analyzing who that consciousness is, who that persona is, who that person that doesn't want to be with you is. And instead, you're bypassing all that important information to make up your mind and bring your attention to the fact that you don't want to be with her, and you're focusing on her physical appearance, which is what you're programming your gene to like. So when you will focus on that, you will make a mistake in thinking that she's actually a right match and right person for you, because you feel excited about her in sexual ways. And that desire would fool you to make you think that that desire is also an evidence that she is the right consciousness, right persona, right character that you will have compatibility with. That's not true. You got to separate, as I said before, separate the desire for a woman from who the woman is, her consciousness, who, how her cylinders hit, what her engine is like, how her mind is like. So that is what you should focus in order to know if that person is qualified for you to pursue a friendship or not. Otherwise, you'll always be lost thinking just because you're excited about her aesthetics. Therefore, that excitement is an evidence for her to be the right match for you on consciousness level, because the relationship always takes place between the two consciousnesses, not between your physical appearance and her physical appearance. That would be an invitation to get to know each other because you're attracted to each other physically at the outset. But that attraction will die out if you don't back it up with the bonding between the consciousnesses where the relationships takes place. So you got to be aware of that. So in this case, obviously, you know, she broke up that promise or that arrangement. So therefore, oh, the card is full, so the video is stopped. So okay, so therefore you must not continue this business of checking her on the social pages of her Facebook, whatever it is, and move on with your life. Have respect for yourself. Pretty much that's all I want to say on that. And Sunny says, haven't watched your videos in a while. Helped me so much back in the day. All right, good of you to share that with us. Aldro says, haha, I will. Thanks again. Okay, good. Don says, lol, don't worry. I'm not gappy. It couldn't be saved at all. Sheer break right through. Well, all right. At least you do things right. You break it, you break it. Don't fuss with it. And Luna R says, hi, Mehran. Hello, everyone. Hello, Luna. Good to see you here. Remember the protocol, age, gender, and where you're tuning in from. Ah, there it is. Luna comes back from the left field and says, 35, female, London. Thank you for that. All right. Now, Casanova. Ooh, Casanova says, hi, I'm male, 25 years old from Beijing. Ni hao. Is that right? Did I say it right? I don't know what I said. I think I said hello. And he says, my girlfriend cheated on me. She keeps checking up my Instagram. We broke up after she told me about it. I abused her a lot. In what way? I hope at least not physically. Any other abuse is also unacceptable, but definitely shouldn't be physically at all, and nothing else either. But, you know, I'm just trying to get it clear here. She says, he says, I abused her a lot when she told me that. I regret that. Yeah, you should, because in the heat of the moment, a human being may give in to some unintelligent behavior and unbecoming behavior and bad behavior, and that is what's supposed to separate us from the animals who have no stoppage when they're angry. So you should pride yourself with the fact that you can control your behavior and your ability to bring harm when you're angry. Because when you're not angry and all lovey-dovey and happy, it's easy for anybody to claim that they're good human beings and in control and balance. But it is important, if you are angry and yet in the midst of your anger, you don't raise your hand on a woman or a child. You do not abuse them verbally in such ways that is not acceptable. Like maybe you want to express your feelings of anger in softer words, but maybe with some anger while you're not physically involved, like you're, 6 feet away at least, and you just say, oh, you did a horrible thing to me, I'm really disappointed. Okay, maybe that's acceptable, but you can't be saying stuff that hurts her deeply, even though she's done the wrong thing and hurt you very much, but you want to rise above it all, the moral ground. You want to be the one who did not abuse her verbally, emotionally, or physically, when you were in a position that you could. That's when you would feel that you're a real man, that you protected a woman or a child, even from yourself, not just from out there, even from yourself. When you're with your girlfriend and you're angry, for whatever the hell reason it might be, you're supposed to focus on your duty of protecting a woman. And protecting a woman is not just from the outside, is also protecting from your own anger, your behavior, any behavior that could bring harm of any kind to her. Then you're a real man. Because being a man is a character. Being a man is not having a male genitalia. A donkey has a male genitalia, but that's not a man. That's a male. You want to be a man, you have to have the character. And the character, part of it, among many other things, is to be able to protect a woman while you're angry from your own behavior and your capabilities. So, having said that, well, I'm glad that you regret that. Says, I want to move on, but there are triggers everywhere around me, and I have lost all my trust in women. Well, really? So you think women are like the cluster of grapes? They all come from one plant, and they all have the same look and taste and so on. If you look at that cluster of the grape, even though they all come from the same plant, same branch, they're on the same cluster, they look different, and one of them is sweeter than the other one. How can you then expect that the women who come from all different kind of backgrounds, different parents, different cultural, different mentalities, from different parts of the world, let alone China, that itself is a world on its own, 1.6 billion people, and you think all these, half of them being women, all these women, despite the fact that even grapes on the same cluster don't taste and this or look the same, but you think all these women coming from all different backgrounds, different parts of China, they're all gonna be the same behavior, mentality? I mean, is that logical? It's not, is it? So I hope that you can now see what you're thinking about women is not right. They're not, tire of the car, that they're all made the same way. We're human beings. Every single one of us are different. Why? Because we discussed it, especially in one of the recent videos that I uploaded, Thoughts and Consciousness. We are our consciousness, and our consciousness is put together based on our families, our ancestors, what we have read, what we have seen, what teacher we had, what siblings we had, what experiences we've had, what exposures we had with different things and different knowledge, what news we have seen, what all that directly or indirectly, the experience that we have has conditioned our consciousness and provided certain amount of information, experiences directly or indirectly in our memory. And that memory has formed us. And because every single one of us have so many differences with the other person and what we have been exposed and learned, then our consciousnesses are all different. And if that's the case, how could you think that all women are different, are the same? Oops. How could you think that all women are the same when we just know that each consciousness is made differently because of all these variables available? Even two brothers or two sisters or siblings in the same family are different because the effects of whatever they collectively have shared and gone through on their consciousness is reflected differently, even though it's the same event. Let alone if they come from different families and they have experienced different things, and their consciousness therefore has been put together in a different resonating level. Therefore, you can never ever say you have lost trust in women. Maybe in that woman, I understand that. It's like saying you're a judge, you're the judge of the world, you've been chosen as the judge of the world, and they bring someone who's done a criminal act. And you say, I'm going to give you another chance, and you can go and redeem yourself. And then he goes and commits another criminal act, and they bring him back to the court in front of you. And you say, because you did this, I have lost trust in all humans. Does that make sense? Just one guy, one person. You gave him a second chance. He messed it up. That's about him and only about him. Are you going to say, then therefore all human beings are not to be trusted? No, you won't say that. Then why do you say it in here? Because you emotionally have been hurt. Because you have that ego that has been hurt. Because you couldn't continue having the pleasure that you had from desiring her. And now your ego, you see, pleasure wants to fulfill the desire. And then through that, the ego gets fluffed. And now your ego has not been fluffed, has been pretty much upset. And now you're projecting that into all possibilities of other women could bring the same kind of result for you, because the brain wants to protect you, and by that it conjures up and alerts you from problems, even though problems that they don't exist. But because of the past experiences, your brain wants to make you protected and alerted so you won't get hurt. So it makes you think that all women is going to be like her, so you better don't even touch it. Well, what are you going to do? You're going to have you're in a orchard and you pick one pear and you taste it and it's got, bad. It was a bad one. It tastes bad. It's not really ripe. Or maybe some worms in it too, because somehow, or maybe some, poison on it because of the pesticide and stuff on it. Does that mean all those pears you should stay away from it all? No, but the brain is going to caution you for the next pear that you're going to pick. So remember, be careful, wash it well. It just means wash it well and make sure you pick the right one. It doesn't mean don't ever have pears because all pears are bad. It just reminds you of that previous experience so you'll be alerted and take care of yourself. That's all it's doing. Right now, these feelings that you have, your brain wants to say, hey, listen, women are great, wonderful, but remember to be more vigilant on figuring out who that consciousness is that is carrying the beauty of that woman that you're attracted to. So separate the beauty of the woman and the consciousness of the woman, the persona of the woman. Get to know her and then try to build something, some relationship and so on. In that way, then you can perhaps see to what level you can trust her. But don't treat her like she is this other woman. Otherwise, you'll never be able to have a relationship with any woman in the near future. And Casanova says, but still many times in time I think about her. She was not faithful, and why she keeps checking my Instagram stories. Don't worry about what she does. Just block her. Simple. Just block her. Get it out of your system. She cheated you. She no longer is qualified to be with you. That's it. Don't wait to be chosen. If someone is not qualified, is not qualified. But the problem is that you see the excitement you get from her physical appearance, sexuality, and then you forget and you think that because you're turned on, you like the way she looks, and she's choosing you, it's an opportunity for you to get intimacy, then suddenly you think that's enough to consider her qualified and you should be interested in. No, you should be only interested if you have compatibility with her consciousness, and for that you need to get to know her. And you already in this case know her, and you know that she doesn't have the qualities that you're looking for. Therefore, it doesn't matter if she checks you out or not. You simply decide that's not the one I want to spend my time figuring it out. Therefore, just block her if it bothers you. And don't think, no, how can I block a woman? Yeah, well, you can, because if you look at her beyond her physical appearance and look at her as a person that she is, then you will see she is qualified to be your friend or not. And if she's not, then just block her and get on with your life. Okay, sip of tea, guys. All right, guys, let me just do a little bit station identification. My name is Mehran, and we have a channel here called Mind That Seeks Truth. As you all know, we have around 2,000 videos on this channel talking about topics of having to do with movement of mind, thoughts, consciousness, the relationship between the two, fear, desire, pleasure, ego, material process, mechanical process, order, why we feel the way we do after breakup in our life, in the challenges that we face on day-to-day basis negotiating our daily lives. And we have maybe 1,500 of all these videos using the principles that I just talked to, the information that I've been trying to share with you all in the videos that talk about breakups, how to move on, why you feel the way you do, and so on and so forth, and building your confidence back, and many more. So if you like to go on through the playlist and figure out what topic you like, what branch of all these thousands of videos you like to watch, and click on that. Otherwise, you can go on my site and click on the books, ebooks, or the books that would help you to know a little bit more about your own psyche, and analyze that for yourself and get to know yourself, become the mechanic of your own machine. And if you needed more consultation beyond the free videos and the live talks that we have here, then you can always click on Talk to Mehran via Skype, and you can talk to me from anywhere in the world by appointments that you can make on my site, and we'll explore what's concerning you together, one-on-one on Skype. Now, having said that, let's get back to Picasso and see what Casanova says. Yeah, you said it right. Verbally only, sir. I was said, yeah, okay, verbally. But even verbally, you're a man, you're a gentleman. So even verbally, try not to. Just make it soft things, Just express your feelings rather than hurting the other side. Because by hurting her, you don't get cured. You just have two people hurt now. So understand what's done, discuss it. It's not satisfactory for you, move on, and that's the end of it. That's the best way of dealing with things. And Picasso says, I'm India 24. Because it's male India 24, says, just think you are 24-year-old and you grow up watching Bollywood movies, which is beyond fairy tales. Yes. From school to university, it's 9 years. It's not about 6, sir. It's something. Where's the rest of it? It's something beyond that. I love her, but can you please tell me, will be good decision? What decision? I lost it. What decision is that? I think you've erased the decision that you're talking about. Oh, to get her back? I see, to get her back. Yeah, I know Bollywood has beautiful movies, all fairy tale movies, and sometimes I enjoyed some of the Indian movies. They are entertaining, warm, always happy ending, and it's good. However, it's not representing, it shapes people's consciousness in that country, but it shapes it in such a way that it's beyond reality sometimes. So in my opinion, you don't worry about Bollywood, you don't worry about anything else. You just think about what you feel about it. And if she's willing to commit to that relationship, and then measure it out a year later to see how it went. And if it went good, then you continue. If it didn't, then say bye-bye before you're too old. You're 24. I know in India, you guys get married soon. I don't recommend it for other cultures. I don't know, maybe for India is okay, but because I guess they want people to have families and get focused on life and don't waste their time, and don't get involved with undesirable stuff. So quickly at the young age, they want their boys to get married and their girls to also get married. But forget about the culture for a moment. Focus on your plans for life. What do you want to achieve in this life? Is your biggest achievement to get married, or biggest achievement to become a person that you're supposed to become and accomplish the important task that you want to accomplish, What are your plans for your life? And then see where she fits in those plans. And she probably looks at the same thing. Whether it's the same plans she has or not, I don't know. But you will figure it out in this way, by figuring it out if she is going to be complementary to your plans, what you want to accomplish in this life, or she's just going to escape from you not accomplishing the stuff that you want. But if it's a happy medium somewhere, that they're helping each other to work out, and you're happy with getting to know her, getting back with her, that's how you feel, then why not try it and see what happens. But don't get back together and propose marriage all of a sudden, just because you want to seal it and make sure she doesn't run away. No. If a girl is good, whether you marry her or not, she stays with you. If the girl is after something, well, if you don't marry her, she's going to go marry somebody else. Well, that means her goal is marriage, not a good relationship. It's like the status that you guys are brainwashed to have, or most people, but especially in India, that you got to get married to be counted as a status. Forget the status. Focus on what it is that you want to do in this life, and if you guys are going to be complementary to each other or not. Don't get married for the society. Get married for yourselves. If you guys are complementary for what you want to accomplish and experience in this life, then go ahead. But don't just get back together and say, okay, now I want to seal it and make sure she stays with me. Well, no, it's not a credit for you if she stays with you. You're also a credit to her if you stay with her. So qualify her. Qualify each other. See if you guys are going to be good to each other for the right reasons, not because, oh, she says, I'm going to stay with him because he wants to marry me. And marriage is so important, so he wants to marry me, so, okay, good. No, it has to be based on if you're the right person for her. And you say, well, she's coming back, so I'm going to hold her by proposing to marry, so she has to stay with me. Oh, bullshit. What are you doing it for? For families or this and that I prevailed. She said yes to me. Now I'm what? Unless you really get your act together in life, you're no better than before. Just now you got another person as part of your responsibility too, and she has you as part of her responsibility. So what did you guys do? Shoot yourself in the foot. So it's not time for marriage. Just get back together for about a year and at least see how things are. And see if things go well, then we will sort it out, then we will decide then. All right. Ride with Dan. All right. What are you? Is it a picture of a motorcycle on your thumbnail there? I can't see, it's so small. Says, Ride with Dan says, hi Mehran. Hope you're well. Dan, 34, Netherlands. Ah, okay. Thank you for that. I have come to the conclusion I broke up with my ex 1.5 years ago because I was not ready for a long-term relationship with kids and marriage. Now I am, and I think about her a lot. I have changed and want to be more serious now, and I feel we were a good match together. Any tips on how to reconnect with your ex? Text her. I really don't think you should reconnect with the ex, because if in that juncture that you guys broke up, you were not good for each other, at least that's what you summed up, that you're not good for each other, one of you or both of you decided to break up, that means your consciousnesses were not bonding and were not compatible, and you made that decision. And since then, you have made some changes in direction or in belief or availability or whatever it is that you feel that you've changed, but you think she's been the same? You don't know who she is today. She's also been changing to something, whether through being with another person or another relationship or her own self-analyzation of herself and coming to some understanding and so on and so forth. So while you've been changing, which you attest to that, you say, I've changed. So what makes you think that she hasn't changed? And what is that change about her? You got to find that out. You can't just decide, oh, she's right for me, as if she's remained the same and you're the only one who changed to what she wanted then. Maybe she doesn't want that. Maybe she's changed. Maybe you have changed, that you're ready for that kind of responsibility or marriage or relationship, but not with her, because she as a consciousness, as a persona, has changed to become a different person now. But you are ready to get back with what she was in your memory. So you're ready to get back with your memory, with your image of her in your memory, but you don't know who she is today. So you're not really ready to get back with her. You're just ready to be committed, be in a committed relationship. But what you remember of her is what you have in your memory, and the memory is the past memory, is not in existence. Therefore, there is no evidence to think that what's in your memory about her is actually her actuality today. So why are you making that decision? You just say, I'm ready for a committed relationship. If I find someone suitable now, I will be more serious with her. But if you want to get back with her, just simply call her up. Say, listen, I was wondering if you and I can, get some tea and see how we are in the world and what changes we've gone through. And if she says, oh, okay, then you'll assess it on those bases. You'll go. And she says, no, I'm like with so-and-so, somebody else, or I'm not interested. So, okay, good, I tried. That's the end of it. Don't make a big deal out of it. Just because I'm ready now, then I should presume that I have lost the chance of my life because I should have been ready then. No. You did what you had to do then, because at the time, the decision you made, with the information was available to you and who you were, you believed that decision was correct. And it was, because you made it. But now you can't go back and says, well, now I would like to make the decision that it was right for me. It was not right for me then, but I think it's right for me now. Well, how do you say that? Because you don't know what the other side is all about. So having said that, let me move on to the next part of his question is right with Dan. Says, I texted her for coffee and she told me to move on. Oh, why don't you say that first? So move on. Is this really, oh, come on now. Don't make it a big deal out of it. If she actually said move on, just definitely move on. You shouldn't even have, as I said before, I don't believe in getting back with any ex anyhow. In this particular case, I thought maybe you think she's hanging around or she's not involved with someone, but no. You shouldn't have even texted her. But now that you have, she said move on, and you're questioning it again? What's wrong with you? Don't make me get on a plane, come to Netherlands, and, beat you with the ugly stick. No, don't. I'm not threatening with violence here. Don't. Get your friends beat the crap out of you for what you said, verbally, not physically. You gotta make sure what we say we don't induce violence. All right. And she said, or is there any chance there might still be hope for us? Are you that thick? Right with Dan? The woman, it's a year and a half past, and you text her and the woman said move on, and you're saying, it's like the movie Dumb and Dumber that, what was it? I forgot his name. Who was it? Ace Ventura and Liar Liar, the actor. Anyhow, she was talking with this very beautiful, elaborate, sophisticated woman, apparently beyond his league at the time, and she said, if you think that there would be what? There's a 1 in a million chance that someone like me will be with someone with you, and he just turned around and said, oh, so there is one chance. So very positive. And in your case, she already said no, and you're saying, is it final? What are you waiting for? For her to come out with the broom and, kick you in the butt to tell you, hey, Get away from here. Have respect for yourself. You shouldn't have even texted her. Now you did, and she said, move on. You said, thank you very much. Okay, move on. Go and present all that wonders that you have and capabilities and kindness and warmth and the abilities and readiness that you have to someone else who would appreciate it and forget about that. She's a year and a half has changed. She's not the same person, different mentality, different conscious level, and different resonance. So don't worry about her. It's not like her then refused you now. No, she now refused you now. That's it, because she's changed and you've changed, and she's perhaps remembering how you told her to go away, and she's got her say right now, telling you to go away. All right. Elena Ciolan says, my name is Titel. Is it Italian? Sounds like it, or the way I say it sounds like. She says, I'm a young philosopher from Eastern Europe. Thank you. All right. And what about age? And where in Eastern Europe? But that's all right. Welcome to be here, Titel. And we have Dawn says, I need to go out now. Sending you a big hug. Love. Glad I caught you live. Have a super weekend. Thank you, Dawn. Thank you, dear. Have a wonderful evening. See you next time. Patrick says, hi, Mehran. I am 23-year-old guy from China. What's going on? We are reaching China. Now, first, Patrick, if you don't mind, and Casanova, both of you are from China. Could you please, both of you, kindly tell me, how did you find this channel? And we have a hard time to even be found in North America, let alone in China, that I know YouTube is blocked there. Google is blocked. So please tell me, how did you find it? It helps us to know how we can expand, because I'm dying to expand in places that are highly populated and interested in finding us, like India, China, and we are kind of moving along in Europe. We're kind of known, at least to a small point. They know we exist. Mind you, obviously not nearly as much as we want. We wish to have over 1 million subscribers. We have 18,500, and we wish to have 12,000 on our live talks, but we have 12. So we're just 1,000 short. But please let me know how you guys found us and how are we presented there. You know, that would help me. And if you guys can do anything to promote this channel in China, in your social media, however it is that you can, I'd be grateful. We need exposure to reach more people, help more people, and at the same time become more viable here by having more subscribers and viewers. And so Patrick says, I'm a 23-year-old guy from China, but live in the US. Oh, there we go. That's the answer. I was too soon. I should have waited a bit longer. I had a one-sided relationship where she only wanted me for sex. Ooh, okay. And abused me verbally, physically, and mentally. Where was this girl from? Trained from gladiator's ring? Old Roman gladiator woman. What happened there? All right, let's see the rest of it. And Casanova says, thank you, sir. You're welcome, Casanova. Don't forget to respond to my question, Casanova, about Beijing and how you found me. It's very important. Obviously, Patrick is living in the United States, so that's not going to solve my question. And Patrick continues, now she's hooking up with guys she met on Tinder and blocked me on everything. Yeah. I have now cut all contacts with her, but I still have ways to her social media and I can't help but stalk her. Don't. Why you stalk her? You know? It's like going to a store and say, do you have that cake or cookie or some product that you want? And they say, I know we're completely out of it, but, you know, we just don't have it on the shelves. You can see it's all empty. And it won't be coming in from the factory for the next few years. They don't make it anymore. But every day you go and look through the window on the shelves. Is it there? Why do you do that? They already said it's not going to be here. We're not going to carry it anymore. The store said, either the factory or the store's policy, they're not going to carry that product anymore. It's not going to be on the shelves. But you keep going looking to remind yourself that, oh, it was so good when it was there. I used to buy that cookie and it was so good. But it's not there now. And then you go the next day and give yourself the same kind of a jolt of torture. Oh, it was so good that cookie was there. See, it's not on that shelf. There's something else there. Oh, I don't feel good. Why do you do that to yourself? Understand that life moves, life changes. And what you make a big deal out of is not really a big deal, is what you have made a big deal out of it in your consciousness. Based on the desire for pleasure, you want to desire something because you want the pleasure out of what you're desiring. So when you desire something, which desire has its own prerequisite steps to be created, which we have a video called Desire and How to Stop It. So once desire is made, then it wants to fulfill itself through pleasure. Once the pleasure fulfills desire, through that feelings, your ego is fluffed. And when that falls apart, you don't have that ability or that opportunity anymore, your ego is unfluffed. And in order to fluff it, the ego says, go get that, go check it out, go figure it out. It says, God damn it, ego, I don't give a shit about you. I don't want that. I want to desire something else. And instead the ego says, no, you got to get the same thing that is not available to you anymore. So I would feel good. You say, the hell with you. I don't care if you feel good or not. I want to feel good. I am the master. I am the center. I am the boss, not you. You, ego, is a fragment of me. You got to be subordinate to me. You got to listen to what I choose. Desire, you are subordinate to me. You are part of me, a fragment of me, not the whole of me. I'm not going to follow you. You're supposed to follow me. This is your answer to these emotions. And therefore, you go on and go through the steps of desire with somebody else. So here you keep going and conditioning yourself to want that what is not available to you more and more, instead of replacing that with something that is more suitable to you and more agreeable to you, and is mutually pursued. So, but I'm having extremely hard. It says, I have now cut all. Okay. I know she's extremely toxic to me, and I know I will recover once I regain my focus, but I'm having an extremely hard time getting my focus back, and I keep thinking about the good memories. Yeah, I know, but those good memories are just memories. By rethinking about them, you're reconditioning your synaptic neurons to try to pursue them, thinking that they are real. But once you accept that it is not real, it's a memory, you will not waste your time on trying to recondition yourself to go after a shadow and never be able to find it, which is wasting your time and making you lose the opportunity of the actuality of the things that are available to your life. You miss all the other wonderful possibilities with other girls, or things that you like to accomplish and spend your time on. Instead, you're spending your time on checking out the store shelves, and stalking her on the social media. Or maybe she comes back and who she is with. The hell with her. What do you care? If this wheel doesn't turn for me, I don't care if it turns at all. If I don't care how beautiful she is, if she doesn't want to be for you, if she's not interested in you, if you can't be in a relationship with her, then it doesn't matter how beautiful she is or who she is with what she's doing. You just go on with your life and let her be on her own journey. Respect her wishes and respect your own self as well. That's the way to deal with life. Otherwise, every time that you're accustomed to something and have created a certain order through certain experiences and certain way of things being, and you constantly want to keep that forever, that's where the suffering starts, because the whole life as a concept is temporary. But you want to turn the fragments of this temporary journey of life into a permanent. That's where the suffering starts. Understand that the whole bloody journey is temporary. So it is okay if everything else in it, as far as relationships are concerned, are temporary as well. That fits the bill. That matches this journey, the quality of this whole experience of life. Temporary. But you want to make a permanent in a temporary environment. That's where the problem is. Relax and focus on the nature of this journey being temporary. Therefore, your studies in university and schools eventually got to end. Should be temporary. You can't just constantly go through same thing forever and ever. At one point, you got to put them to work, and then learn the rest of it through experience of work. Your relationship the same. It's okay if it turns out to be temporary. If it's going to accompany you through your whole life, great. But if it didn't, that's okay. It's the nature of life being temporary. So it can only be as permanent as the extent of the temporariness of life. It cannot be more permanent than the length of life. So don't expect the relationship to be permanent, for your own life is not permanent. So be okay with it. Don't make of it as a big deal. Oh, my whole life is over because this wasn't permanent. Well, listen, the whole life is not permanent. So make the best you can make out of it. And if this continues, great. If it doesn't, well, go for something else. You got to eat. If you go to this restaurant every day and eat it, and then one day they don't have food, what are you going to do? No, I have to eat in this restaurant. No, you go eat somewhere else. You still gotta continue. You still gotta eat. The life continues. If she doesn't want to come along with you, that's all right. You still gotta continue the journey. So you keep going, and on the way, you will meet other opportunities and qualified people to be friends with and become companions of the same journey, at least for a while. I hope that gives you a gist of it, what I'm trying to say. Otherwise, you know, you guys are always welcome to go on my site, mindthatseekstruth.com. Make an appointment on Skype so we can explore what's concerning you one-on-one on Skype from anywhere in the world. And that's very easy because it's affordable, it's convenient, and it's fast. And at the same time, for the time being, for every half an hour that you make a booking, I'll give you an hour. And for 1 hour, I'll give you 2 hours. So we'll have plenty of time to get deep down to the roots of the problems and together help you to move on to bigger and better things. All right. Yeah, Patrick says it is as if my brain chooses to forget how she abused me, and yeah, it does, because you only focus on the intimacy and get that out and focus on the person. Separate the person, the persona, from the intimacy and the attractiveness that you are naturally programmed to have towards her, and then you will see if she's qualified or not. Otherwise, by just focusing on the physical intimacy and the experiences and the memory, you will miss the chance of getting to focus on who she really is and her behavior, interaction with you. And then you will make a mistake thinking that she's qualified, but she's not. And Ride with Dan says, yes, haha, it's a motorcycle. Aha. All right. Patrick Starr says, she was also the first sex partner I've ever had. Ah, yeah, that makes a little bit of a difference for you mentally. She's older than me. Oh, okay. She's getting, it's becoming more and more clear that why you should move on and why she's so important to you. She's older than you, so obviously at that age that you are, you think that suddenly you have become more man because an older woman is paying attention to you. But really, being older or not is just at this age is important to you. But when you get much older, you don't want necessarily you won't be looking for a woman who's older than you. You'll be looking for a woman who is the same age or younger than you. But at this moment, at age 23, an older woman make you feel like you're more man because a more mature woman actually wanted me. So that means she makes me feel more important. That's not true. You make yourself feel important. And because she was the first sexual experience that you had, well, obviously that is so amazingly going to be part of your memory, and that's okay. Let it be. Don't turn it into a negative and bitter experience. Simply understand what it was and don't pursue it. This is over. Let it go. It wasn't the right choice anyhow. But you have this experience and cherish that experience, but let it go and keep it as a memory. That its memory is good, not the actuality of it in this case, and based on the age that you have and the amount of experience you've had with this sort of romantic involvements. And I've never had. She's older than me and her sexual energy was amazing. Yeah, okay. In Chinese culture, sex is always a big deal, but now this hooking up culture is bugging me. Don't. She didn't belong to you. You shouldn't consider her worthy of you. It was just an experience. She was older. She, of course, enjoyed kind of abusing you in a way, and you were just young enough and inexperienced enough to be willing to be abused just to get that pleasure of sex that she's offering to you. But otherwise, she definitely wasn't qualified, and you know it now. So let it be a memory and move on to a real relationship now that you have some experience. But in order to get that experience of intimacy back, don't try to just choose any girl that comes along because you're so focused on getting that sex back. Don't. Focus on the person. Get to know the person. See if that persona, that character, that consciousness is got compatibility with you, and on those bases, then pursue that friendship and see if you can make something, build something together, a good relationship on that sense. And Patrick Starr says, on one hand, I'm a young guy who is horny all the time, but on the other hand, I just don't see spending the rest of my life with someone that would have sex with me that fast. Okay then, fair enough. So either way, just don't judge about anything right now. Just move on. Take it for what it was. It was an experience, a fragment of your life. It was interesting. Now that's what you learned about it. That's how it turned out. Okay, great. Focus on the good memory of it and enjoy it, but don't pursue it. Go on to the next experiences and see how that works out. And Patrick says, I appreciate it, Mehran. You're quite welcome. And don't forget to let me know how you found this channel. Guys, if every one of you let me know how you found this channel, the ones who haven't been with us for a long time, the new ones, if you haven't subscribed, please make sure you subscribe. And if you haven't liked, please make sure you like the live streaming. Live talk. Streaming and talk got together, made it stuck. Make sure you like the livestock, and don't forget to share us on your social media. Help us to grow, guys. We definitely need exposure, and as you can see, the quality of this channel is proudly say beyond many other channels that you have experience with. We're talking real sensible content here to help you out rather than just focusing on giving you a taster. We are actually trying to help everybody out with the 2,000 videos that we have. Anybody can go on the search engine of my channel and write in one words how they feel, and they're bound to be videos on that. Almost anything you can think of after breakup, under the sun, anything pretty much, they're good. There would be a few videos on it. So this channel is there to help and support everyone who's going through breakup and people who are really interested to learn about their psyche, the movement of their mind, thoughts, consciousness, the relationship between the two, fear, ego, desire, and all that, how they work together, how they are affecting the way that you feel, act, and react in negotiating your daily lives. So please help us to grow and recommend us to your friends and through your social media. I'd be grateful. And let me know how you found this channel. Most of the names today are new to me. They're not the usual people that gather. They're all new. So I hope you have all subscribed, and at least please let me know how you found it. I'd be really grateful. Now, I don't know if you have checked my new uploads. There are 4 parts at least at the moment. There could be a few more parts added to it. If you go on the playlist, there's a playlist called Change is Coming. Change is Coming. In that playlist, there's 4 videos. Number 1 is the colognes. And you want to watch that. And then it tells you how we've been, from birth to now, what has happened to us, and the story of the development from birth to now, why we turned out the way we have. It kind of sheds a little bit light on that. The second one says the nature and you are connected. Nature and you are connected. That's part 2 of Change is Coming. Part 3 is why meditate. Why meditate? On that, these are long videos, but they're interesting, and it tells you about how to connect with the universe and a couple of ways of meditation, a little sample of them. And then the 4th one is thoughts and consciousness. Thoughts and consciousness. I think you will enjoy it. The people who are interested to know more about themselves and how they're put together would be interested in those things. And in order to fix anything in your life, you got to know how that thing is put together. So in order to help yourself and develop into more elaborate and wise and seasoned person, then you got to know how you're put together. And these videos, especially this channel, especially the playlist called Psyche, has all these things to do with movement of mind and things to do with your psyche that helps you to know more about yourself and become the mechanic of your own machine. Now, let's move on to Patrick says, I live in the US, Mehran, and your videos was in my recommended feed. Good. But why are we not enjoying more subs? What the hell is going on? And Casanova says, same thing in recommended videos I found out. Casanova says, I'm not Chinese, sir. We use VPN in China. So I don't understand. So but where are you then? You said you're from Beijing. So I thought you're reaching me from China. Elena Siolan says, Titel is the diminutive form of Constantine. I have 18 years. I'm from Romania. So if you're about Dracula. yeah, I know. And Casanova says, I can promote your channel through my fitness channel here in China. Many Chinese use VPN to see YouTube. Oh, all right, please do. However you do, I'd be grateful to help me out here, because obviously we are making a serious life-changing effects on people's lives around the world, and I've been always bombarded with um, emails of appreciation and their gratitude for the effects of the contents on their lives at the right moment. But we somehow, I don't see the number of subscribers that I would hope, and as everybody else tells me that I should have over 1 million subscribers, and I agree with you. All these videos have been carefully made with quite genuine interest in everyone's well-being and helpfulness, and they come from the heart. Put lots of time on them to deliver things that I thought it could help people, but we are invisible. So anyone can do anything to help us to become visible and help and reach more people, and also become more viable, economically viable, so we can have our plans of put workshops, weekend workshops, and so on. Maybe I can travel around the world and be able to share a lot more than I can share on here on internet. So I'd be grateful if you guys could help me out, and that would be wonderful. Cameron Joy says, I'm trying to teach myself to not be bitter about the situation and think of it as an opportunity to better myself for somebody who wants me. But of course, Cameron says, just to let feelings flow and crash. It is what it is. And Cameron, how about your protocol that you were going to, hopefully everybody's aware that we need that, like age, gender, and where you're tuning in from. That would help me to know how far we're reaching. We have Abhishek says, my girlfriend, Abhishek, what happened to the protocol? Like age, gender, where you're tuning in from. Before I read your questions, guys, I need to have those protocols. Otherwise, I move on to the next one until I come back to you with those information. Cameron says, in my recommend, I see. Patrick says, Mehran, you've made my day. Thank you for your time. My pleasure, Patrick. Don't forget about this channel, and don't forget to recommending this channel. Patrick, we need everyone's help, otherwise we'll disappear. Luna said, I discovered and have been following your channel for the last month, now in an attempt to heal a broken heart, and would like to sincerely thank you for the time you take to guide us through your words of, I would say, probably wisdom there. No? Luna, thank you very much for sharing that with us. I'm delighted that you're kindly sharing your pleasure of being one of the patrons of this channel, and I'm glad that we've been able to be helpful to you. And she continues, just as I said, the next word was guide us through your word of wisdom. I couldn't help but subscribe and create a channel for the sole purpose of connect with, all right, I guess the rest of it will come. Thank you, Luna. I'm grateful. And Luna, did you tell us where you tuning in from and your age? Yeah, you did, I guess. Let me just find it on the higher ones. Yeah, 35, female, London. Yes, thank you, Luna. I appreciate that very much. Anyone that can help us is really, I'd be really grateful, because actually a couple of days ago I made a couple of new videos that I think they're on a different level a little bit, and you might, the ones who are interested in deep stuff might be interested in that. These are not long. One of them is about 8 minutes, the other one 11 minutes, but they're actually pretty interesting, and it might be helping you to ponder on something that maybe you didn't, and shed some light why breakup happens. While we have discussed that in many different videos, but this is going to be on a different tangent and different look. And I think you will like it. And so these two videos, you know, be on alert for them. Please click on the bell. Make sure that you will not, you will be alerted when new videos are uploaded. And the more economically viable we become, the more subscribers we get and viewers, the more it gives me an opportunity or an excuse to spend more time to develop this. And there are still things to share with you guys. So I hope that you guys will support the channel as you have and help us to grow, and then we will go from there. Who knows, maybe someday we can all be meeting each other in a workshop somewhere in the world. And Cameron says 19 UK male. All right, thank you, Cameron. And so Cameron says it was my recommended ones. And Luna continues saying, I couldn't help but subscribe and create a channel for the sole purpose of connect with a collective who are looking to grow and develop themselves for the better through this empowered journey of self-mastery. Ah, good for you, Luna. Delighted to hear that. Thank you for your attention to us. Now, Abhishek came back, says, by the way, I'm 24, male USA. Okay, now let's go to Abhishek's question, which was a book on its own. So, so Abhishek says, my girlfriend and I broke up about 1.5 months ago. We were together for 5 years. And Abhishek, you were about 24 years old? 5 years. You started from 19. All right. Lasted a long time. Where are you? US? US, yeah, okay. We're 1.5 months ago you broke up, and you say we were together for 5 years and met during the first year of college. Recently, I moved away to attend medical school, but decided to do long distance. Ooh, no. Long distance. We made a commitment and things were going okay. But in hindsight, there was small problems which I didn't realize at the time, and she broke it off. And it had devastated me, and I'm having an extremely hard time moving on. I still want her back. Why? Why are you wanting someone who actually is proven through a certain test of time, so to speak, that happened that you had to move? It's not like you started this as a long distance relationship. You were together for so many years and you moved on to get your medical degree, and you explained to her you guys made a commitment, and therefore you went on to accomplish what you had set out to accomplish for the benefit of both of you, at that time, at least in your minds. And now that you see she failed the commitment, she failed the promise, she failed the plan. So why do you still want someone who has already proven to you at this stage of the life, which is the beginning, which is all exciting and fresh and all that, and if she's failed here and sold the relationship to something else, abandoned it for something else, what makes you think that this is a character that you can rely on, even if you get her back 10 years from now, when things are not as exciting and as fresh, when two people get to know each other, when they start going out? You know how shine it is, everything is shiny and everything is so exciting at the beginning. So if this is what she does at the height of your planning to build a life together, just because there is a challenge, and this challenge was you moving to a medical school, what makes you think that is now still qualified for her and for you to want her back? Why? You don't want her back, you want your memory back. You want what you invested, the energy you invested in this relationship back. You want the order of things, the certainty that that order, that mechanical process, the stuff that you guys were doing together, including now long distance, the texting and the Skype and this and that, so forth. That mechanical process, that stuff had created certain order, and that order had created certain security, because the mind finds security in order. Look, everything in our body has a place. The thumb is here, the fingers are here, the wrist is here, the elbow is here, the shoulder is here, upper arm is here, hanging to the shoulder, my neck and the body, the legs, everything is, you're aware of where everything is as a part of your physical entity. Because our entity, our life as we know it, our existence is in few parts. Two of the few parts is physical, limbs and so on, and the other one is the mind. On the part of the physical, everything you know where they are. Ears, nose, mouth, eyes, head, hands, fingers, everything, legs. You know where everything is. You close your eyes, you know where they are. That's where the security of it is. You know where they are. You can just, touch yourself and know where things are, and you have a certainty, security of it. By providing security for that physical entity, you create that atmosphere of confidence and certainty. But the mind has no place in the body. The mind has not been taught where its home is. That's why if you go on my site, mind-that-seeks-truth.com, and pick up the book, whether the print or the ebook is far cheaper, Me, My Psyche, and I. In that book, I have explained mind needs a home. There's a chapter called Mind Needs a Home. And it explains where the mind should be. But coming back here, the mind, as I explained to you, is not, if it's not trained, it doesn't know where it should be. So it doesn't find its security as the wrist finds by knowing where it is. The mind finds itself where it is and its security in the order of your life. Through mechanical processes, you do certain things during your day, and that mechanical process creates an order, a routine, a way of things are. And that the way of things are, the order, is where your mind finds its home and finds its security. When a breakup takes place, the way things were, the order breaks down, because you cannot do the same mechanical process, the same stuff that you used to do together or individually in your daily life. It breaks down. The rhythm of the stuff that you were doing breaks down. Therefore, the order breaks down. Therefore, once the order breaks down, there's no place for the mind to settle and find security and certainty, because the mind used to find the security in the order. Now the order is broken down. So what you're doing by thinking that you want her back, you don't want her back. You want the memory, you want the order, you want this where your mind can find security, because your mind is now agitated, doesn't have a place. It's like a gypsy, goes here and there, doesn't know where it was that it could hang its hat. It's not subtle. That's why then you got to know where the mind's home is in order to endure this until you create new mechanical processes for your life, for your daily life, through which you will regain a new order, and in that order, your mind settles. And things settle down, and you'll find your way to go on and accomplish what it is that you want to accomplish. I hope that was something for you to consider and be helped with. Abhishek. Yeah, you just stop reminiscing of who she was. Who she was has nothing to do with who she is. Who she was was represented with her actions and her attention to you. Who she is does not represent the actions that she used to have and the attention that she used to have for you. She doesn't have those actions. She doesn't pay that attention to. Therefore, she doesn't deserve your attention to her. So don't think who she is represented by who she was in your memory and how you guys were together. Who she is a different person. The person who has betrayed you, or the person who has left you, the person who doesn't want to be with you, is not the person that you had that relationship with. That person hasn't done anything. It's still in your memory. That's why keep her in the memory. Enjoy whenever you want to think about her. But don't. That person hasn't broken up with you. This person has. This is a new person. And this new person doesn't deserve for you to pursue her, because it's changed. It's not representation of what it used to be in your mind. Therefore, don't make a mistake. Don't think you're pursuing what was. You're pursuing what no longer is as it was. So therefore, move on with your life and don't consider her as the same person and thinking, oh, it was everything so well. Yeah, but that was a different person. This is a different person. Different time. That was the past, non-existence. Don't try to think that you will be resurrecting that by going after this one. This is a different person now. Why? Because her action shows as a different person. So you cannot just call her, no, I gotta be the same, everything will be the same, because she looks the same as the one in the past, but her behavior and consciousness is now changed, evolved to something that is no longer palatable or compatible to you. And you should not give her that credit anymore. She's disqualified. And he says, she had been with me through everything and hard times in the past, but I guess I wasn't able to keep it together. Yeah, okay. It takes two to tango. I also feel like she's moving on much faster than me. So big deal. It's a race. It doesn't matter who's moving on faster. Maybe they're heading for the shithole. Is that a credit? Oh, she's moving on faster. Yeah, where is she going? That's what's important. Where is she going? Not how fast she's going. It says, I also feel like she's going faster, okay, than me, which is causing anxiety of missing her. Well, why do you miss her? Why should you miss her if she doesn't miss you? Why is it with you guys that you think you should miss a woman if the woman doesn't miss you? Why? Because you're not thinking about the persona. You're not thinking about the woman. You're not thinking about the consciousness. You're not thinking about her center and who she is. You're thinking about the pleasure that she's carrying with you. Yeah? Sensuality, sexuality, intimacy. That's what you're focused on. And you think because you're turned on by her, therefore she is a qualified person to have a relationship with. But your relationship is with her consciousness. But your pleasure and physical interaction is with her physical interaction. That is not where the relationship takes place. The relationship takes place and breaks down in the consciousness. And she obviously is not the same consciousness. Therefore, you should not consider her qualified. And wondering who she is with, wondering if she cares. Who cares if she cares? You shouldn't care if she cares. You shouldn't care if she cares that you care. You shouldn't care at all. I'm on the roll. Abhishek said, I appreciate the words of wisdom. I'm in the thick of it. Yeah, get out of it. You know, just cut through the jungle and come out and see the sky. Where you are is not the sky. Don't make it to be your sky. Come out and don't give a shit. Move on. She had her chances. You guys made a commitment. You went to better yourself and continue your studies. She didn't hack it and she left it. Then, therefore, let her be. Respect her wishes and respect yourself. Move on. Move on. Life is not summed up in one relationship or one woman. You can continue on and choose a different relationship when you are ready again. Now, we are over 2 hours, which is longer than what I intended for today. But at this time, I think it's time for us. We've answered all the questions. To remind you, please do subscribe, like the live talks and the videos that you watch, and share the videos on social media. And please promote us as best as you can. And if you need to talk to me and the videos are not enough, the live talks are not enough, please go on my site, mind@seekstruth.com. Make an appointment with me for a Skype talk, and we will discuss what's concerning you from anywhere you are in the world on Skype, one-on-one, explore it together. So, I look forward to talk to you again. I love you all. Thank you very much for being here and allowing me to share a thing or two with you. And I look forward to talk to you again. In the meantime, be good to yourself and to the others, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.